Hey, it's me again. I probably won't post this video, but I just wanted to make it because I was on the train today and I was reading social media posts and then I saw like two from one of my old friends from college, and it was about abortion and the fact that there are 3 states in America that have passed a law that prohibits abortion if it's been more than 6 weeks because of the possibility of the fetus having a heartbeat. It may happen around that time or I think a little bit after. I'm pissed about this because people, like anybody who chooses to have an abortion, there's a very good reason, even if the reason is that they just don't want to or they just don't care, they think it's funny. That kind of person shouldn't be having a child, right? Okay. Neither should someone who is ill and taking medication that could hurt the baby. Neither is someone who has an ectopic pregnancy. Neither is someone who, during their pregnancy, develops a lot of complications and trying to have the child would kill both of them or one of them. There's also just like, you need to be ready to be a parent. It's a life. It is not like something. What's even worse, I found out there was a movie that was released this spring about this young woman who, I do understand that she's grateful that her mom decided not to have the abortion and had her. It's like, that's amazing. Anybody who is born deserves to feel great about being alive, but that doesn't mean you get to turn around and tell every single person who you don't know what to do. And what's stupid is men are behind this and they're not the ones who get pregnant. Like, it's just like, if both of us could get pregnant, men and women, I don't really think this would be a law. I really don't. As someone who has a lot of respect for men and also for myself, I just think this is stupid. I personally have had to have an abortion when I was on an antidepressant and it was going to cause birth defects in the child. And I had the father, who I wouldn't even call him a father. The person that got me pregnant, there's a difference, between a dad and a person who gets you pregnant. There is. He was trash. If you watch one of my other videos, there's some of the story I share. Why would I want to have a kid with a father like that? And I didn't have a job at the time, so it's like, what kind of mother would I have been? I don't know. We can barely take care of ourselves as humans in the first place. We haven't even reached the point where we can actually respect others, especially others that we don't understand and that are different from us. And I'm just talking about race here. I'm not even talking about just who people are as a person. We can't even reach that surface level. And then, yeah, deeper, your personality, your interests, your passions, your goals. There are still people out there, plenty of them, who start nonsense over that. We have a world where the richest people are extremely rich, and a lot of people are very poor or have nothing, are living on nothing. Look it up. Look up how wealth is divided. Google it. I'm not going to explain that to you. Just like I'm not going to explain how ridiculous it is to throw a Bible and a church behind your desire to be pro-life. You're a pro-fetus, you're not pro-life. And I do not care which Bible thumper thinks I'm evil. I really don't care. Because you're not respecting life for what it is. You're not respecting the fact that after this child is born, is the church going to pay for the kid's tuition? Are they going to help the mother with formula? Are you going to do any of that? You want to force people, including an 11-year-old girl who was raped and is carrying her rapist child, to have it anyway. You need to use common sense. You need to think about the future. You need to think about the fact that there is so much more out there in general, which includes the fact that there's so much more you don't know about why the person is having one. And there's so much more you don't know about what's going to happen to that kid when they grow up in a shitty freaking family and a shitty life. Where do you think these convicts come from? The system not working out. We still have to work on the system. So Until jails are not overpopulated and until we're not paying out of our asses for taxes to help support others who have not been supported and have been screwed over or just suck, until we stop doing that, we really shouldn't be forcing people to have children now. You bring life into the world out of love. You don't bring it out of, oh, I have to, or it's my duty. Sorry. And I'm saying this even being like the first child that my mother decided to have. And I still understand that she wasn't ready. And I also just don't judge her because, look, it wasn't me. Okay? I was not in her shoes, so I cannot really extend a whole bunch of judgment other than, look, if someone is trying to abort a mission or whatever, there's usually a good reason. And the person who wants to quit or isn't ready is not the person that should be carrying a life and dealing with all the stress that goes with having a healthy pregnancy and possibly having a miscarriage for almost a year. You know, you're not carrying life, you don't get to decide. And just because you were someone that your parent decided to have instead of getting an abortion, that doesn't give you the right to be pro-life, because you're really only being pro-opinionated. You don't consider anything. Like, let's actually return to the fact that there's an 11-year-old girl out there right now who can't get help in Georgia and 2 other states because there are laws that say, hey, it's past 6 weeks. You're going to have the baby, even though you've been raped, even though you're still a child yourself. Let's make you have that baby anyway. Will we pay for what happens after? Are we going to pay for late game? You know, when you have to pay for school, you've got to pay for food. You have to listen to them screaming and crying and be there. You know? Are you going to pay for that? Or, I don't know. I haven't heard any news about that lately. You know, it's like you don't get to make the choice of adding to the population for somebody else. We're already overpopulated anyway. There are already too many of us. We can't even take care of what the child would be facing late game when they're alive and they have to live and become a person all the way. Like, it's just funny. People who don't, like, experience the reality of late game want to make early game choices. That's bull shit. Also, just wanted to add, one time I was hospitalized and I had to wait 8 hours to be seen by a doctor. They didn't tell me they were going to admit me, and it was a horrifying experience. When that goes on, there's no, when late game for me is not even fully supported and I'm like an adult now, when you can't even take care of adults who need urgent care, when that's not all completely accessible, you don't have a right to force someone to have a child. You really don't, because what do you really, you're not helping. You want to value lives, then you need to value it all the way through. I just thought of something else. We have young teenagers today and people in their early 20s talking about how they don't read. We have children who don't read and think it's funny. They just text or whatever. They don't even understand the respect for books and having value in their life, or they have to find it in another way because of the systems and BS that we have in place. We've got people who don't read. We've got people who don't read books, who don't even have a favorite book or favorite genre. You know? We when we have that happening, and we have social media being used in the wrong way, like, we don't even have the social aspect covered, and you think it's okay to, like, force start more life. No. Unless you're gonna back it the entire way, don't even try it. That's a recipe for failure. Success is achieved when you resolve what was making you fail in the first place. You can't say that you can grow up and do anything you want in America. Not everybody can do that. You have to find loopholes. Not everyone's born on the same level because of the stupid stuff we do. And then you want to force people who literally don't want to have children for one reason or another to have them? Sorry, you don't have anything set up, so you need to back off. I think that's all now. Just like, wow. It's ridiculous.